Alright, state your name.
My name is Erik Interview.
How long have you been in New York?
For 2 years.
What?
Am I talking to you or am I talking
You can talk to me.
Alright. Well, I came to Columbus. I feel like I have to go backwards. I came to Columbus for graduate school at Ohio State University. With the intent of moving to New York anyway. Is that appropriate?
That's appropriate.
Okay. I am working in an off-Broadway show called Sleep No More, and I am also creating my own dance work under Boy Cry. What am I working on? I'm working on a new dance piece, movement piece. It's a longer work. I've been working since January with people I met in Columbus from Ohio State who are also here in the city. And I'm looking at modes of repetition and what that means in like not only repeating things but like other means of repetition in life circumstance, in history, futuristic imagined histories. It's terrifying to be out here, by the way.
Out on the roof.
On this fire escape.
Okay, I was just like, are we being really philosophical right now?
I do like it in New York. I really like it in New York. There's a lot happening all the time, and sometimes that's hard to process on a day-to-day, but ultimately, it's great. I mean, bottom line, there's just not a lot of money. That's one thing, and there's also, I think, challenging boundaries. There's a lot of like. There's more dance there than in many other cities that I've been to, which is great. But the kind of desire to push beyond what's given or push beyond what's been done, what even individual choreographers have done before. Yeah, I feel like there's not a lot. There could be more of that in Columbus. Shit, I don't know. I think just make it, and make it good, and then show it. I mean, that's really the pared down way of think about it, but I'm trying with this. This is the first piece I'm making now in New York. I'm trying to really focus on the work itself and kind of trust the universe that it will be shown, and it will be shown. Well, I think about showing work, I think that there is this misconceived notion of like how to go about doing it. Like you have to go through these predisposed channels to get it done, but there's so many showcases with multiple choreographers in the city and even from elsewhere that there are way more options to just show works in progress. For example, this show that I have coming up is, I'm titling it an excerpt, but because I'm meaning that it will be longer, but I think that, yeah, there's a ton of places to show shit. For the most part, people in this city are excited to see work, you know. It doesn't have to be a super daunting task. I mean, it is, but it doesn't have to be if you put it on paper and just apply and show it. I feel like Columbus really did prepare me for coming here.
In what ways?
Well, I think that the city is, Columbus, the city, is super supportive and excited about art which is amazing for a Midwestern city. I think that I was fortunate enough to being in grad school, resources through the Ohio State University dance department, you know, more than embraced me and helped me like forge forward in my own process. And then I showed work with the Columbus Dances Fellowship on 2 occasions, with Christina Isabel, and I did a collaborative duet with Dante Brown. So there is that sort of like support available should you seek it out. Maybe if I could put a problem in there, is that the works have little room to exist beyond the showcase. You know, the process beyond the show is not as supported. It's kind of about the show. I mean, for the most part, it's like rehearsal space and a space to be near other like-minded artists, to like talk and like argue and really banter back and forth about ideas of, you know, okay, so you had a grant, you got the show, and you did the piece, but like that's not the end of it. Hopefully. It rarely is, because the showing is kind of the beginning of it, I think. Well, I mean, I've talked about the perks of having fellowships and kind of grant support to make work and show it, you know, with the emphasis kind of being on the show. I think what have been a major thing to consider staying is more of a residency style funding opportunity to spend a larger amount of time digging deeper into a work, you know, and maybe without the pressure of having to show it, something, you know, for a stage, for an audience, in a mixed bill, you know, a residency option where you could work, develop something inside a space, have a performance showing inside of that space, and to consider work through a longer period of time, rather than just for the like proscenium stage. I think where I've been renting space is Shea Bushwick in Bushwick, Brooklyn. They also have a couple residency options with the idea of showing in the space at the end of your residency option. I think other than that, a lot of like New York Live Arts has a couple residencies, but that's still kind of for a proscenium space. So I guess what I'm saying is teaming up more with a visual art world and putting dance in a more of a studio gallery setting and existing kind of solely in that place, rather than make it in a dance studio, put it on a proscenium stage. That's the end. Hardest thing coming to New York, it's ungodly expensive, which is hard. It's daily. I think also you encounter people daily who are not necessarily nice. Doesn't mean that they're mean people. I think that people are quite nice here. I think that they're just exhausted. And so the hardest thing is, like, you could go out in Columbus and you could meet friends in the street, make new friends quite easily. Here it's like people have their guard way much higher than they ever did in Columbus.
Pretty lonely.
I'm lonely.